Now, you mentioned hiring, and I like to go a bit here because I know you've hired a lot of people, and I know you also hire very inclusively. And
Yeah,
it's an interesting point. How do you do your hiring?
I think so. I don't know where to start. I think what's really important for me is this genuine interest to improve things for the better. This is what I'm looking for in people. And even when I'm hiring a senior engineer, I don't exactly hire for the skill set of, the technical skill sets that they have. Because if, especially if it's a field I'm comfortable in, I'm always like, I can teach you this in a couple of weeks or maybe months. But what I cannot have is that sense of responsibility, sense of purpose, and that genuine enthusiasm. So this is the basis of my hiring, not diplomas, not schools. I don't care if you're a CS graduate or not. We're doing web development or app development or any cloud. It doesn't require a PhD in computer science. It's relatively well known how to build these type of software. So we're not looking for geniuses. We're looking for authentic people who can understand other people, who can work with them, and this rarely comes from mediocre white men. You have to have a good balance in the team to have, as you said, an inclusive environment where you can create more, because certain things people bring from their own culture and from their own background, and they can reflect to their jobs, and that's actually a very valuable thing to have in the team. They can, especially if you have a feedback culture, if you're open to discuss and improve things, one thing they can say from their past, for example, if they were in marketing before, if they were in, I don't know, international business relations or whatever, every developer brings their own view to the table, and you never know when those good ideas will pop up, where they're going to come from. So that's why I'm always on the lookout for people, regardless of their background, who have this authentic way of approaching others. And it's not easy, especially to have gender diversity in your teams in hiring. Unfortunately, the industry is still overrun by men. 90% of the developers are still men. And what we have to do is to even this out. It's too easy to accept, hey, this is the state of the industry. So we're going to have 9 male developers and 1 female developer. And because this is the norm. Well, but that's not very natural. Nature does not work that way. So what we can do, if we can, and I'm sure we can, to improve it, is to kind of try to tip the balance a little bit. So whenever I hire in my teams, I try to make sure we have an even split between genders. And at some companies, I even hire specific recruitment agencies just for this, just to make diversity happen. At UNO, for example, I had many, I think 5 agencies looking for women developers, and it was it took a lot of time. It wasn't easy on our part as well, but in the end, they were able to find real good talents from all over the world. And at UNO, we were able to hit that balance of 50-50. And that is something I'm very proud of. That's something I kept doing in all of my teams. This requires special attention of building the right culture, the right inclusive culture, and investing a little bit more in terms of effort into hiring a diverse team. It's I can understand that many companies don't want to do this because it's a lot of time and money investment. But in the end, there are certain things that you cannot measure on Excel in terms of value, and diverse opinion is one of them. Especially if you don't have it, you don't know what you're missing. And it's almost like trying to talk about colors to a person who cannot see colors. Like, there's no concept. You cannot really explain it, how diversity is enhancing the team, how it actually opens up your non-diverse members of your team as well. You only need to experience it to see how good it is. And so I kind of can see how a lot of companies don't really do this, but I do it whenever I can.
And another thing that I